What impact could regulators have on XRP and Ripple? Ripple is a digital asset management platform that also includes its cryptocurrency, XRP. The price of XRP is now 88 cents. Ripple, like many other cryptocurrencies, is subject to regulatory scrutiny. In this video, we examine what steps authorities may take to keep Ripple under control. We'd also go into the reasoning behind these changes and what they could entail for traders. Changes in policy. Even though XRP is not decentralized and has a dedicated staff supervising its growth, these regulatory organizations may still wield significant power over it, especially if they have government backing. One of the vital duties of government, as we all know, is to enact new laws and policies. Well, I'm not suggesting it'll be suitable or straightforward, but they can always modify things to make cryptocurrencies like Ripple illegal or restricted. It's easy to see how such a move would reduce demand and, as a result, the price of cryptocurrencies. Until the legislation is altered again, it would be the beginning of the end. Caps on price and transfer. While these regulatory agencies have little direct authority over crypto, they influence auxiliary entities, such as banks, which crypto traders sometimes rely on. They can, for example, set limits on how much money banks and exchange platforms can swap for these digital currencies, comparable to policy changes. Because not everyone accepts cryptocurrency as payment, such a move will annoy many traders. It will also restrict the number of large-scale cryptocurrency transactions. Investigations. It's common knowledge that cryptocurrencies, and by extension the internet, can be a hotspot for illicit activities. Those who wish to take advantage of enthusiastic traders may devise deceptive methods, which many unwittingly fall for. As a result, if these regulatory authorities wish to ensure that fledgling cryptocurrencies are safe investments, they might research their origins thoroughly. They'd be making the world of digital currency a safer place to enter in this way. Hearings. Legislators have the authority to modify what is considered acceptable behavior in our society, but they aren't always up to date on advances in specific fields. Rather than making meaningful choices based on disinformation and ignorance, they should invite Bitcoin influencers and fans to hearings to update legislators on the direction new technology is taking. As a result, these politicians will be less scared by the growth of cryptocurrency and will be less likely to make hasty decisions that will be difficult to reverse. Arthur Brito, David Schwartz, and Ryan Fugger, authors of Ripple, might be excellent candidates for a hearing. Campaigns for education. Another method these authorities may take is to run educational efforts to inform the public about what they're getting themselves into. Although these authorities are not permitted to intervene directly, they can assist investors in making smarter financial decisions. In the same spirit, there's no reason why these organizations couldn't run public relations efforts to dissuade people from using Ripple and XRP. It's common knowledge that certain media companies have political inclinations and can be swayed by the government. People are not as resistant to misinformation as they believe. Such misinformation operations have the potential to impede crypto's growth for years, proposing coins that the government regulates. At this stage, it would be a little naive to believe that digital money has no future. Cryptocurrencies like XRP, on the other hand, are now leading the way. It's not hard to see these governments and regulatory bodies implementing their controlled cryptocurrencies to reclaim and maintain control of the financial markets. Nobody should be surprised if anything like this happens. These countries already have the infrastructure in place as well as the financial means to do so. Some even claim that it's the most appropriate course of action. Regulations for ISPs. Internet service providers are, in some ways, the Internet's backbones. We wouldn't be able to evaluate websites in any way without them. The blockage was established by manipulating the ISPs in nations, where the government has imposed specific restrictions on particular websites. As a result, if a government truly wanted to control Bitcoin and eliminate trade, they might do it by focusing on ISPs. These ISPs would be powerless to resist, as doing so would result in severe penalties. This trade embargo also works around VPNs, which are a popular way to get around ISP limitations. That's all there is to it. These are just a handful of the possible regulatory measures that might influence XRP and Ripple. It's tempting to dismiss all of these acts due to fear, misunderstanding, or a conflict of interest. In any event, it's preferable to assume that the goal is to safeguard weak traders. Crypto traders with a lot of experience know that the blockchain may be a hotspot of illicit activities. This fact alone warrants regulators' intervention. In December 2020, Ripple had its run-in with the law. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission sued Ripple Lab and two executives for selling XRP coins, which the SEC classed as unregistered securities. But now that everything has been cleared up, Ripple is on its road to becoming legal tender. In any event, all traders can do now is hope and trust that crypto will continue to hold its value despite all of these regulatory snafus. We hope that by the time we conclude this video, you've digested some critical knowledge regarding how laws might influence Ripple. Even though Ripple is in a stronger position than other cryptocurrencies and has a wide range of applications, authorities will not be ready to dismiss it. Is there a technique you think regulators should pursue that we didn't mention? Please feel free to debate this in the comments section. As we say our goodbyes, we'd want to remind you to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video if you like it. You won't want to miss out on the next one since our videos are constantly fascinating and entertaining. Take care of yourself till then. I'll see you later.